What we usually do, imagine when we start talking about 50 years old car. It might be something, a classic car, or it might be that your grandpa forgot in the garage. But luckily, there are a group of people who are interested in old cars and name for them petrol heads, and thank for them so that they are keeping their cars into ultimate condition and trying to improve their ride quality. My name is Dmitry, you're on a channel about car sound deadening, and today we will work on a Toyota Corolla 77. So the owner came to me with a problem that he's experiencing an irritating noise while driving on the highway, mostly through the boot area, front and rear wheel arches. And from the interesting part, we agreed to soundproof the entire dashboard and everything which is named like a firewall, because the engine noise is coming from the engine bay. Another interesting aspect while working with old cars, that time 50-40 years ago, these parts from the whole interior, they were designed more in a manual way rather than in an automation that right now. That's why you have to be very careful, especially that's because the plastic is getting more weak and it's really easy to destroy it. So you have to be very cautious while disassembling the interior. Another point that you can face while soundproofing the old cars, it's rust. You can't avoid it because this is a natural process. The metal getting exposed and then rust start appearing. We unfortunately can't avoid it, but we can try to fix it. While working on this car, I will show you how I will try to treat the rust that I will find in the floor, and we'll apply the vibration damping on top. Yes, you may ask that, Dimitri, you mentioned every time that StP Gold, it has an anti-corrosion inhibitors. That's right. StP Gold can prevent the corrosion, can stop it, but it must be applied on a clean metal, not a bare metal, rather than metal with any rust. That's why I must to clean everything to remove the rust, and only after that apply the material according to the methodology. So let's see. So as you can see, the first step preparation, or let's name it the second step, the first was disassembling. The preparation, the metal preparation was done. Initially, I found a lot of rust spots and decided with the customer, with the owner, to remove it. There are different options how you can deal this. Yeah, you can sandblast, you can use a different chemistry for this. So to remove the rust, I use a rust converter. This is probably like a popular option. There are a variety of them that you can buy in different shops. This is like something, it worked for me, so that's fine. I've just applied it in several steps. Firstly, then remove with a metal brush, then apply it once again and clean. Yeah. And the next step was use an anti-rust primer, so it fills all holes in the metal and protect the metal before applying a new rust. And on top of that, I use an anti-corrosion paint. It's in a white color, so it almost matches the color of the entire car. It doesn't make sense for the owner right now, and because the vibration damping would be applied on top. It's more interesting and more important to protect the metal from the rust, against the rust, before applying the vibration damping. So right now it's drying, it's almost dry. I already covered the whole surface, all spots that I found, and right now I'll be waiting and start installing the sound and vibration damping. Let's see. think it's time to work with the doors. So what is special about these doors? That's firstly because that's an old car. Yes, this is 50-plus-year-old car. And while working with all components, touching almost everything, you have to be very careful because it's super fragile. And if you break something, there is a tiny chance that you will find the same part on the eBay or somewhere. So you have to be careful and think in advance and use the proper tools for this. So here we have our doors. The trim that this front panel is made from the papier. Yeah, it's like a carton, whatever. So, or it's like a mix of the wood. I will show you later. So here we can see there is a handle. We will disassemble it, opening these two clips. We just unlock it in this way. Then inside this wind mechanism there is a metal clip, so you have to like move it in this way while rotating. And there is one screw bolt here that you have to disassemble, but really be careful. This plastic is, as I mentioned, it's a pretty old, it's 50 years old plus. So, and trying to, when you're putting it back and screw the bolt, try to not over tight this because it's really easy to damage it and and break the plastic. Also, as you can see, this noise, this is something is happening in this mechanism. So I will add a grease to this plus WD-40 to make softer. And let's begin with the disassembling. And now it's time to use something with the plastic. It's like trim removal. Yeah, but we be very careful, very gentle with this. As I mentioned, it's really soft. It's not like in the modern cars with a hard plastic. So try to identify the place of the clip and push this trim tool exactly under the clip. That's why you will do not stress and do not break the wooden panel. In the outer skin, as you can see, we have this plastic thin film. We don't need this, we will remove it because on the outer skin we will apply vibration damping. And now we have an access to the inner side and outer side. So I will remove everything which is not necessary to clean the metal panel, disassemble this one, and do the measurements and start cutting and installing the vibration damping and sound and heat isolation. So I've already measured the vibration damping sheets and cut it. So now it's time to install. There are several peculiarities with this installation. Usually the doors reinforcement bars, they are located in this way or this way in the modern cars, and they are pretty thick. So it means like, I don't know, from 5 to 10 centimeters, but this car, probably that's because according to that classic standards of that time, the reinforcement bar is like from this side to this side. and there is no access to put any metal, any vibration damping, sorry, under the reinforcement bar. So I will install it only in that area. So it's, well, as you can see, 14 centimeters, and in the rear side also 14 centimeters. So let's do this. And it's finally time to use a whole sheet to close the outer skin by installing the StP Gold vibration damping. So let's do this. So as you can see, the installation was done. I used 2 layers methodology as usual in our Premium Plus package. The first one was a 2.2mm StP Gold vibration damping. It stops all rattles that are coming from the metal, like especially it actuals on the boot area on the floor when you have a large metal sheets. On top of that, a StP Sonora sandwich was installed. There are 3 components inside this material. The first one, it's like a special adhesion, a special glue. The second, this is absorption foam, which is absorbing and trying to disappear the sound waves. And on top of that, there is a blocking noise level, which is trying to remove and do not let the sound waves come inside in your car. This material stop and absorbing heat, especially it actual for the front area where engine and gearbox are located, because through this firewall and through this tunnel, the exhaust extractors, in Australia we say extractors, they're coming, and this material can stop and prevent, especially it actual for the classic cars, because 30, 40, even 50 years old car engineering was on a different level, and at that time they don't have such a performed materials like we have right now. And I can guarantee that it would be day and night for the customer, but we will listen the real feedback after some time as usual. And right now it's time to take everything back, and I will start with the carpet as it was in a reverse order. I will review it, clean and remove the default synthetic padding. Firstly, because it's old, it's 50 years old, and the second, it was damaged by the time, and the third, it just doesn't work as it should be, because the most performed material by StP were installed.